Well, good morning. It's July the 17th, and my Sea-Doo expedition has been postponed because of thunder and lightning. So we're going to head on over to St. Thomas and do a video over there and see what we can see. So stay tuned. We'll see you there. This area is called Rogers Springs. If you look in this video, right where I'm pointing, there's a bighorn sheep. Seen several of them, and several bands of horses as well. Should be right there in the middle of the video. He knows we're here. This is Rogers Springs. What a cool little place to go swimming, but I bet you anything it's not allowed. I'm going to take a walk around here. Way cool little spring. Sure, you're not allowed to get in it, but I'm going to fill the water to see. Oh, you are allowed to get in it, and I guess it is a warm spring. Awesome. Cool place to skinny dip. Look at the little fish swimming around in there. How cool is that? And there are horseflies here, just like at Dacopa. Wow, look at the little spring. I'm so tempted to go skinny dipping. Maybe on the way back. So this is what they call the Blue Point Spring. Doesn't look as nice as the last one, but I'm going to take a look just the same. It's a little bit more rugged, I think. But let's take a look and see the spring. This is the road into St. Thomas, and I'm kind of excited to get there, even if it isn't off-road. Well, I like the off-road better, actually. It's more fun. Really pretty scenery out here. And I was out here just a couple of weeks ago, and I had no clue that St. Thomas was only 11 miles from where I was in my last video. I think it said Laughlin, Kingman, and Hoover Dam. I was out here. But I didn't realize how close I was to St. Thomas. And it's now gotten up to 100 degrees, 101. So you can bet I'm going to hit that Cold Springs. It's about 80 degrees that I showed you earlier. on the way out. Signing off until we get to St. Thomas, just a few miles down the road. So it says I have arrived at St. Thomas. Not certain where it's at, but we'll read some of these boards and see. Looks like it's a walk down there. This was a Mormon settlement back, I think, in the 1800s. We'll read this little sign here. The lush, muddy river valley shown below has dramatically changed from January of 1865, when the town's namesake, Thomas Smith, and nearly a dozen Mormon men and women arrived. Interesting. Well, we'll take a hike down, see what we can see. Back in the day, all this was filled with water right here until it dried up. St. Thomas, I think, was underwater. I'm guessing, I want to say 90, 80 years, something like that. And you can see where the water was over here. All of this was covered in water. That's a huge amount of loss of water. St. Thomas itself is over that way. And I think the guy's name, the last guy out of here, was Hugh Lord, I think. Or Lloyd, Hugh Lloyd. And he stayed until he woke up one morning and water was lapping at his bedpost. And I guess I heard he burnt his home down, well, as much as he could, because after all, it was in water, and paddled away in a rowboat. Can you imagine? Well, I can't imagine living out here anyway. I don't care what religion you are. Moving way out here, that's crazy. But they did have stores and stuff, I guess. I don't know if they had electric. I don't think they did. But yeah, the guy just paddled away. Can you imagine how heartbreaking that was? And I guess the government was supposed to pay them for their property. I don't know if they ever did. But if Hugh was around now, he could come back. We'll be down there in a couple minutes. It's a 2-mile round trip hike, I think. 2.5 mile. We'll find out. All the crushed seashells along the walkway, testament to this was underwater. Over here you can see water lines in the rock. I'm the only one out here today, which is nice. I don't like crowds. Lots and lots of seashells. And cicada as well. So I would be well underwater if I was back in the day, if I was here. I guess it was 1935 when this area flooded. This must have been somebody's little cabin home at one time. I read that St. Thomas was under 90 feet of water. I don't know about this particular right here spot, but can you imagine? 90 feet of water. You can see over in the distance the water line. Don't know what this is we're approaching now. I don't see a sign. Maybe it was a schoolhouse. Maybe it was somebody's home. You can almost hear children scampering around. And well, the noises of everyday life, I guess you'd say. I'll just go up the steps here and see what this is all about. Can't imagine. I was reading a sign a minute ago that said it was so hot out here at night, they'd wet sheets and cover up to go to sleep. I can't imagine living way out here. I don't think they had electric. Let's go on to the next sign and building and see what's over there. This was their water well. This is where they got their water from back in the day. It's now just full of junk. This here is one of the water canals. It says they flowed all through the town, bringing water to all the homes. And gee, what a job to dig all this out and maintain it in this heat out here. Well, today it's not so hot, actually. It's nice and overcast. It's actually raining right now a little bit. And I'm glad, because I don't like the heat. It would be too much for me, but I'd still be doing it. All kinds of stuff out here. It looks like an engine block over here. It must have been a V8, I can't imagine. Well, it was a big old work truck, because look at the size of that drum. Yeah, it was a V8. Let's go see what's over here. Lots of cicada out here. You can hear them. I can. Well, here's the foundation of somebody else's home. Not much left. But I guess there wouldn't be after being covered with water for 80 years. This must have been another water well of some sort. Yikes. Okay, on to the next building. Looks like a nice one over there. Hope I don't get hit by lightning. Gee whiz. A little concerning. This is a big foundation. What's left of some kind of building. It was a big house. Some people had big houses, 2 stories, they say. And there's another one right over here. Came across another engine block. Looks like a big V8. Gee whiz, I wonder where the rest of the car is. Wonder what kind of car it went in, or truck. It's a little creepy out here by yourself. but it's kind of exciting. And you wonder how these people got by. I guess originally they thought they were in Utah, and then they found out later they weren't. But they stayed until the Hoover Dam started holding back water, and well, they got flooded out. Can't imagine. That must have been horrible to lose your home. But after all, they were living in the hubs of the hottest area that I know of in Arizona. This foundation looks pretty official. It had to be a school or a post office or a government building. There's a sign over here, we'll see. So yep, this was the schoolhouse. Look at the columns, how big they are. Some of the houses were made of adobe, and some of them, I guess, were adobe and cement. That cement, here's the steps going up to go to class. Oh my gosh, that was pretty big for a small community. My rig's way back over there, about 2 miles away. Nice little hike. Don't think there's anything out that way. It is still thunder and lightning a lot, but it seems to be okay right here. So again, there's mini clams right here in front of the little schoolyard. Clam shells, I should say. They're just all over. I think they're called the Colorado River Delta clam, but I'm not certain. But it's hard to imagine what life would have been like here, and it's hard to imagine watching your home back in the day be swallowed up by water. It's reappeared, I guess, 3 or 4 times over the years, but this time it's the worst. This little foundation that you're looking at now was St. Thomas Post Office. And this one here was Harry Gentry General Merchandise Store. I sure wish they had the mark for the for Hugh Lord, the guy that was the last guy to leave this area, but I guess they don't. There's many foundations out here that are not marked, so you wouldn't know. But they knew he was the last to leave, and that he paddled away in a rowboat. You'd think they would have known which house he lived in, which foundation was his. So this was the Gentry Hotel. It was a 14-room hotel. operated by the Gentry family. 14 rooms in its day. Still some brick left. It was a brick building. You can almost hear the people going about their business, having their glass of iced tea. You can certainly hear the cicada. There's really not much left of this little St. Thomas town, but it was interesting. I'm glad I came out here. I'd love to take some of this brick, but it's illegal and I don't do that. I'd love to have a piece of the old Gentry Hotel at home on my mantle, but I would be the only one who knew what it was. Don't know what this was here, but looks like it's a glass shrine now with some automotive pieces. I don't see any mention of a cemetery, and you know, they lived here a long time. There has to be a cemetery nearby. People died. I mean, it's just what happens. You're born, you start dying. I wonder where that's at. I wouldn't mind paying some respects, but they don't tell you that I know of. I'll do a search and see if I can find it. Here's another foundation. There is no sign to tell you what it was. But it looks like it was a nice place in its day. Hello, anybody home? I need a glass of iced tea. Thought I would freak out if somebody answered, wouldn't I? Oh, the river silt. This was a big place here. Maybe it was a church. It's almost too big to be a home. Let's out back here and let's go see. Nothing really to rummage through. There's just nothing left of this town but foundations. You'd think underwater it would have been pretty well preserved. But, well, I guess it's a long time for a building to stand even underwater. Or maybe especially underwater, I don't know. Another foundation here. Maybe this was their workshop or their Bible study, or who knows. Lots of horses evidence out here of, well, horses, mules, who knows. Look at that, they even had stucco back in the day. Stucco right over the top of their cement. I read that some of these homes were built of adobe and then covered with well, cement, I think is what they said. These were the stairs, I guess, going in. So up here would have been the floor and that would have been the basement. That's just about it for St. Thomas. Wasn't a whole lot to see, but there's a lot of history and I didn't tell half of it. You can Google St. Thomas, Nevada if you like and learn much more. It's almost sad to leave. Well, goodbye, St. Thomas. It was nice seeing you finally. So I did find the St. Thomas Memorial Cemetery. It's been moved. It was moved in 1935 because the town was flooded or flooding. So they moved it here to Overton. I knew they had to have a cemetery, but I also knew they probably moved everything, which they did. And I'm just going to walk through briefly because, well, because I did a video on St. Thomas, and well, this is just part of history to me. Not trying to be disrespectful, and I would never do that. But some of these graves are pretty recent. Some of them are not. Some of them are not marked. The lady at the museum told me it was very sad because some of them were just, well, I forgot the term she used, but she said they weren't marked. Jania Whitney, 2015. That's pretty new. Like this one here, must have been one of the ones that was moved and they didn't know their names. That's what the lady at the museum had told me. And there's a lot of those here. I'm not going to go over the whole cemetery because I don't want to be disrespectful to the dead. Rather, I'm memorializing them, and well, I was just at their town, so this gentleman died in 1934. Probably from heartbreaking of losing his home. Just all kinds of them. But that was it, and I wasn't going to give up till I found it. And if you know me, you knew that. But we'll say a prayer and we'll see on our way. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe and like if you did. And if you didn't, well, comment in the comment section and tell me so I can make my improvements. Thank you.